The world is a strange place. Every day, there appears to be some new and unexpected happening going around. This time, the news is coming from the emerging superpower of the world, China, and one of the most rich and influential people on planet Earth, Elon Musk. China was really fond of Elon Musk and persuaded Elon's brainchild Tesla to establish itself in China. China facilitated Tesla in almost all things, such as giving land permissions, exempting taxes, and some special favors as well during the pandemic. Tesla was being treated as a princess by China, so Tesla started to set up factories in the country. Musk was of the view that Tesla could grow very well in China, as he said that the environmental policies of the country are more effective than the United States. Being the first car manufacturer who had complete ownership of operations in China, Tesla was able to manufacture and deliver a really huge number of vehicles made in its Shanghai factory. But soon, things started to turn sour for Tesla. When looking at the broader picture, one can easily judge that China had ulterior motives from the very start of this relationship, but Tesla was not able to identify, and when it finally did, it was too late. This love-hate relationship between Musk and China started when Tesla aimed to step into the Chinese market, as it's a tech-oriented region and for electric vehicles. China represented a very lucrative market, being the largest among the world. This can be understood from the fact that in 2020, China accounted for about 40% of all global sales of electric vehicles. A large portion of these sales were due to China's policy of rewarding the people who buy EVs and penalizing the people who buy gas-powered vehicles. Tesla, being the biggest EV manufacturer of that time, it was obvious that Tesla would enter China. Since Tesla is an American company and everyone is aware of the tensions between China and the US, many Tesla officials didn't favor the setup of a manufacturing unit in China. But Musk was adamant on this. China also wanted Tesla to set up their manufacturing facility in the country, and to do so, they facilitated Tesla to the maximum. This could be inferred from the fact that the Chinese government gave tax exemptions to the EV brand, which were only available to local car manufacturers, and let the company work without any hindrance. In a typical setup in China, it's necessary for a foreign-owned company to include a Chinese company on a 50-50 partnership basis, but Tesla was not bound to this condition. Tesla didn't bother about this exception being made for it, and it thought that China wanted to enhance its automotive sector, with Tesla being a beacon of guidance. Before Tesla came to China, the local Chinese EVs lacked quality, and these were not able to generate sales. Musk thought that the Chinese government's favor was a step to establish its own automotive industry, and Tesla would be considered as a benchmark. Following this notion, Musk agreed on building a gigafactory in China. In order to help Musk build this factory, Chinese banks offered loans at very soft terms. Majority of these loans were not even default protected. For Musk, this was a deal too good to be true. Within no time, the Chinese market was flooding with Tesla cars, and thus, Tesla became famous overnight among the masses. But soon, things started to get ugly for Tesla. Tesla was branded as arrogant by the Chinese media and Communist Party. Meanwhile, local EV maker XPeng was making its move to overthrow Tesla by marketing its high-voltage technology, due to which the car can charge in less than 5 minutes and travel 124 miles, making its charging ability twice as fast as compared to Tesla's Model Y, while giving the same performance. This all started with a video which surfaced in February 2021, in which a staff person from Tesla appeared to be telling a customer that her Tesla got damaged by a state-owned power company. Tesla faced a lot of backlash and had to issue a public apology to the company. Due to this incident, Tesla started to face regulatory hearings in which officials from the company were being interrogated about different issues about the cars that they were manufacturing. Tesla, in such conditions, had to issue more apologies in order to save its reputation, but things turned much worse for Tesla, as Tesla cars were barred from government buildings and military installations, as the data collected by the cars was allegedly being sent to America. This appeared to be a matter of national security, which further stained the position of Tesla in China. In response, Elon Musk said that the data was not being used for any illegal motives, and all the data was being used in China only. But troubles had only just started for Tesla. In the following month of April, during the Shanghai Auto Show, a customer started to jump on a Tesla car and screamed about how the car almost got her killed as the brakes failed and resulted in an accident. This eventually turned into a protest. Initially, Tesla was saying that there's no truth in the woman's story, but seeing the anger of the mob, the company stepped back and issued an apology. All of these incidents resulted in decreasing the sales of Tesla by 50%. Watching the situation, in June 2021, China recalled every Tesla model in the country so that its autopilot system could be examined. Around 300,000 cars were sold in China. When recalled, the company had to bear huge costs. In order to save its image again, it issued an apology. This resulted in a bad name for the company, and owing to the pandemic, the company faced huge losses. During the initial phase of this year, the company faced a huge decline in demand and production decreased by 98% owing to the lockdowns in different cities of the country. It can be said that Tesla was severely affected by the tension between China and the United States. Things will take a long time to turn well between the two nations. President Biden has outspokenly said that China is a rival to the US and China is behaving like one. But it can be said that China got what it wanted from Tesla. Before Tesla, Chinese EV makers were not up to the par in both quality and quantity. The arrival of Tesla gave them a jolt and they started to improve themselves. For instance, XPeng introduced a feature in their EV that was able to semi-autonomously drive the vehicle through urban places, which was a straight challenge to Tesla's technology. Also, the Chinese EV maker BYD, backed by Warren Buffett, holds the position of most global sales, selling more than 640,000 EVs during the first 6 months of this year, marking a 300% increase year over year. On the other hand, Tesla was able to sell only 564,000 EVs. One reason is the disruptions in supply chain due to the pandemic and the Ukraine-Russia conflict. Also, some Chinese makers have made EVs very similar to Tesla's cars, but they're offering it at a price which is way less than Tesla. China has made good use of Tesla in improving its own EV industry, as well as beating Tesla, and the best part, that it has done this with the help of Tesla itself.